What the night took. The night had always been Nadia's safest place. It was the one time of day when her mind felt free, when she could lie on her back, eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling of her small bedroom, and let her imagination drift to places untouched by the weight of expectation. The world outside could be loud, demanding, and unkind, but the night gave her space to breathe. Until one night changed everything. It stole her peace. It stole her laughter. It stole her trust. And in its place, it left a silence so heavy that it pressed on her chest like an iron weight, suffocating her with every breath. Nadia was only 16. She had dreams bigger than her small neighborhood dreams of becoming a writer, of leaving her quiet town and telling stories that could change lives. She was known for her soft laugh, her gentle way with children, her curiosity about the world. To most, she was light, but her parents only saw discipline and responsibility. They were deeply religious, their words constantly echoing with purity, obedience, and honor. Reputation, they often said, was a family's greatest treasure. Weakness, mistakes, or disobedience could ruin not just one person but the entire household. They were not cruel, but they were unyielding. So, when the night took from Nadia what she could never get back, she buried her screams deep within herself. She told no one, not even her reflection. It happened after choir practice. The church hall was almost empty, the last echoes of hymns fading into the air. Nadia's best friend had forgotten her hymn book, and because Nadia was always thoughtful, she chose to wait behind. The rows of wooden pews stretched before her in silence, the scent of candle wax and old hymnals lingering in the air. He entered the hall as she waited, a man she trusted, a family friend, someone her parents respected enough to invite over for dinners and prayer meetings. To her, he was safe. At least, she thought so. His voice started gentle, like it always did. But soon, it shifted. Friendly words turned sharp, his presence suffocating, his movements calculated. She froze, her brain scrambling to process what was happening, her heart pounding so loud she thought it might burst. When it was over, he leaned close, his whisper colder than the night breeze outside. "No one will believe you." And with those words, Nadia knew he was right. She walked home slowly, straightening her clothes, fixing her face into a mask of calm. She practiced her breathing so no one would hear the storm inside her chest. On the outside, she was unchanged. On the inside, she had been swallowed whole. When she entered the house, her mother asked, "Why are your eyes so red?" Nadia swallowed hard, forcing her voice steady. "Just tired." The lie burned her tongue. But what else could she say? She already knew the questions that would follow if she told the truth. Why were you there alone? Why didn't you fight? How could you let this happen? Her parents would not cradle her pain, they would dissect it, judge it, wrap it in shame, and bury it under prayer. So Nadia chose silence. She went to school. She laughed at jokes she didn't find funny. She sang in church, her voice hollow but convincing. To the world, nothing seemed different. Only her pillow knew the truth, soaking up the tears that never saw daylight. Her grades slipped, her laughter vanished. She startled at sudden touches, her body flinching even at innocent hugs. Teachers whispered that she was moody. Friends said she was changing. Inside, she was drowning. One evening, Nadia's father scolded her for leaving the dishes undone. "You're becoming lazy," he snapped. She stared at the soapy water, bubbles rising and fading, her tears mixing with the foam. She wanted to scream, "I am not lazy. I am broken. Can't you see it?" But no one saw it. Not her parents, not her teachers, not her friends. Her silence had become her cage. She was both prisoner and guard. Then the panic attacks began. Her heart pounded like a drum. Her chest tightened until breathing felt impossible. Her vision blurred. Once, she whispered to her mother in desperation, "I can't breathe." Her mother placed a hand on her shoulder and said, "It's because you don't pray enough." That was the moment Nadia understood. Survival would not come from her parents, nor the church, nor anyone who demanded her silence. Survival would have to come from her. Nights became both enemy and friend. She feared the memories Yet in the solitude of her room, she also found courage. With trembling hands, she opened her old phone and joined an online forum about mental health. For days, she only read other people's stories, some that mirrored her pain so perfectly that she cried until her chest hurts. Then one night, she finally typed, "It happened to me too. I'm not okay." Her finger hovered over the send button, shaking. When she pressed it, her world shifted. The reply came minutes later. "You are not alone, and you are not to blame." Those words felt like sunlight through a storm. Healing was not linear. Some mornings, Nadia woke up lighter, smiling at the sky outside her window. Other days, she spiraled back into the pit, her mind replaying the night, filling her with shame. But she learned, slowly, to forgive herself for those setbacks. At school, she overheard 3 girls whispering about a mental health club. The thought terrified her, but she forced herself to attend one meeting, sitting silently in the back. It took weeks before she could open her mouth. But when she finally whispered, "Something happened to me," she braced herself for judgment. Instead, she was met with silence, gentle, compassionate silence, a silence that said, "We hear you." For the first time, Nadia felt seen. Over time, she built strength. She began journaling her thoughts, sketching little poems in the margins of her notebooks. She allowed herself to cry without guilt. She even laughed again, small at first, then freer. She realized what the night took from her, she could never get back. But what she could build: courage, compassion, resilience was hers to keep. She was not just a victim, she was a survivor. Years later, Nadia stood in front of a group of young girls at a community center. They looked at her with wide eyes, waiting. She took a deep breath and spoke softly but firmly. "Your worth is not defined by what someone did to you. You are not broken. You are not dirty. You are not to blame. The night may take, but the morning always returns." Some girls cried. Others nodded slowly, relief softening their faces. Courage flickered in their eyes. As Nadia spoke, her own words sank deeper into her bones. The night had taken so much from her, but it had not taken her. She had survived, and survival, she realized, was the most powerful story she could ever tell.